Hello and welcome to this rescheduled Fragmaster's GTI Thursday round. We are on round 41 of the 2022 Championship tonight with both cars in the GTI class at Aston Club again, but this time in the reverse direction. Zdravko joins me alongside in the commentary box. Zdravko, we've been here before, but we're going to do it in the other direction this time with both cars. It should be interesting.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, Aston Club is always interesting venue to see, and this direction has an amazing with tight turn 1 for the first lap.
Yeah, it does indeed. Let's get a look then at the track we're going to be using tonight, just to refresh everyone's memories if you don't know it already. Here it is, Aston Club reversed in all its glory, 3.1 kilometers, 1.9 miles, and only 7 corners, if you can really call them corners. 2 chicanes, 3 at a push, with 2 longer straights and a few corners in between. 2 18-lap races coming up, one at 7 o'clock UTC and the other just after half past. So 2 short races, the second with a reversed top 15, which always shakes things up and we get a lot of drama in race 2. But with both cars on show here today, I think we're going to get some drama in both of the races. Let's have a look at those cars before we do the championship standings. Here they are, the XFG and XRGT being used tonight, the front-wheel drive XFG and the rear-wheel drive XRG. Very similar in terms of this class, but there are a lot more XRGs on show today because of its superior straight line speed. So we don't expect to see too many XFGs. In fact, I think 3 of them qualified. Speaking of qualifying, let's have a look at the results of that session. Donny, who currently leads the championship, also leading the way in tonight's session at 1:21.95, just 200 of a second ahead of the firstborn to race car Mantas. Then we've got 136 miles per hour, Rick 98, Loco, Nalaluka, Pekka Koivunen, Twin Cam Magic, and Fatal rounding out the top 10. And 24 cars qualified, with Cabazon being the final car on the grid. Let's have a look at the Teams Championship. As it currently stands, we have 2 pages of results, and it is B2R, Zdravko, who lead the way ahead of Road Appraiser now by quite a significant margin. Tell us about that this year.
Yeah, B2R, I think it's winning just by the sheer numbers of them, and they're all very fast. But there's also a lot of B2R drivers, and yeah, they deserve to lead.
Indeed. Well, there are 35 teams, which is a staggering number of teams actually that have entered the championship this season. But it's good to see that amount. As I mentioned before, it isn't Donny who's leading the championship. It is still TJ. My mistake. Donny currently P2 in the championship, but obviously hoping to climb the order tonight and obviously in future rounds. Then we've got Mantas, Jan Marlow, Rayman, Loco, Twincam, Fnatic Fatal, and Unite, our top 10. Yeah, it's been an up and down season. We see Jan Marlow dropping down the orders, Zdravko. Is that something you expected?
Well, Jan Marlow, I think, stopped racing for a few races, and that shows in points, especially if you have people driving every race. You lose points very fast.
Exactly. We've run out of time for the results. Unfortunately, we'll have to show the rest of those in the break because we have action on the track already. The lights are about to go off for the start of the race here tonight, so we're gonna have to get a wriggle on and get this show on the roads, Zdravko.
Yeah, let's see how the turn 1 goes. It will be interesting to see how everybody does with their brakes, with cold tires and fuel on board. Donny got a good start. Maybe he can survive the turn. It looks like he will go into it alone, as a flood of B2R cars go behind him. Mantas has a nice exit behind Donny, very close. While behind we have 136 MPH, Rick 98 and Loco.
Yeah, big gaggle of cars trying to get through the. I guess this is the second chicane. You can't really call the first corner a chicane on this direction. I guess you can. Here's the gaggle around Magic. This is going
as Mantas goes to wide with Donny in the chicane and takes the lead. Ooh, this was interesting. And they go slow, and 136 MPH and Rick close up to them.
A big change at the front early on. And the mid pack just trying to sort themselves out. We've got a Born to Race car. That's Nana Luca going for a move on the inside of TJ. TJ gets the better line out though and retains his position for now.
Yeah, and those two are followed by Fero.
Loco here in a battle with Rick 98 side by side across the line. We've got cars going in the pits already. Fatal and Magic going in the pits, and Yari Katilla follows them in. And who else is that? Kig and Gabor. So a lot of cars coming in straight away. There's Gabor at the back, choosing a pit box. So expect him to climb up the order. He's going to have a very quick pit stop, no doubt, as Mantas leads Donny onto the second lap.
And Rick 98 just lost 2 places in turn 1. He's still fighting with Twincam over the 5th place. He went wide, now goes to the grass again.
Here we have a battle for P6, Zdravko, with Pekka Koivunen.
So Pekka Koivunen joined the fight in the chicane. They go too wide. Pekka takes the place as TJ goes. So Rick lost 3 places in as many turns as TJ goes to the inside. Oh, that's a big drop for Rick. And he puts the car on the curb under braking, goes wide. And there's no place there.
Yeah, well, TJ's left him some room, not all of the room. These two are going to be side by side. Rick's got a slightly better exit, as you can see. He's starting to draw up alongside TJ. But it currently is Donny who is stopping this top 4 B2R situation that's happening as Rick 98 pulls into the pit lane. So he doesn't want to do any more battling with his teammate, and he comes into the pit lane very fast onto the brakes and into his pit box.
Let's see where he gets out. Alright, I think he will maybe come behind Fatal. Let's see. Fado
Maybe
does overtake
just
him.
about.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
So Fado is the leading pitted car. And nice clear road ahead of him.
Yeah, so these top guys probably going to be battling and boxing quite late. Here we've got an XFG. This is Valentino A+, following Michael Malek in his free Candy XRG livery that we're quite used to seeing these days. Which way is he going to go? He goes to the inside, so he's going to try and make a dive on Michael. This is a bit futile, isn't it? Because even if this XFG does get through, Michael's just going to get straight back on the straight.
Well, XFG can always kinda work on the draft, try to pull itself behind XFG, and then just overtake him in the turns. And it works when there's a field of cars, as Valentino goes to pits. It works when there's a field of cars and XFG can jump from one car to another. He has a stop-go penalty.
Oh dear.
For a false start, so that will hurt.
Just confirming that's for Valentino, right? Yeah, so penalty for Valentino. That's not going to help his race. So, Presley currently the leading XFG in this race. Meanwhile, Loco's pulled out a bit of a gap over 136 and Twin Cam. And, well, Pekka hasn't made much ground on the B2R train just yet. But there's a couple of B2R drivers behind him still. A big showing in this series for the B2R team, of course. They are leading the team's championship. .136 miles per hour is cutting in behind Loco at this point. And yeah, that was a good move. These front guys definitely are starting to spread out. Fatal is going for a move. TJ is going to have a move here as well, potentially. TJ trying to get past Ortiz. We've got a car ahead going to the pits. That's Cabes on. And here's TJ lining up the back of Ortiz. Rick 98 at the back has has actually dropped out of the draft with these guys. So, actually, no, he's back into it now in the braking zone. And Tijo and Rick are back together. 3 wide as we exit the first corner. These guys are going to come together. Yep. TJ and Ortiz bashing doors. And the 2 Road Appraiser cars back together, but in a different order now than the order they were in before.
I mean, the guy profiteering from it. Everything is fatal.
Yeah, basically. He's being allowed to run away at the front. He has a healthy gap ahead of him as well, so he's not going to get caught up just yet. He's got a few car lengths before he catches up to Mizio M. Magic also gets past Ortiz, and Ortiz is now being caught by Gabor, so dropping like a stone at this point. Let's see if Gabor can get through. Gabor, of course, has pitted, as have TJ, Rick 98, and Fatal ahead of him, so he needs to get past Ortiz in the braking zone now and hope that he can keep with Magic.
He just sends one, yeah.
Straight around the outside, nicely done.
I mean, this track looks easy, but that turn 1
it's so technical. Yeah,
it's probably one of the worst turns in whole LFS. Maybe
it depends if you enjoy it. I
hairpin.
personally enjoy breaking down into there.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not easy.
No, it's not.
Maybe A7R hairpin and SO4 hairpin are kind of right there, but this turn 1, that curb always puts me off, because you kind of want to go on the curb, and then the tire kind of doesn't want to have the grip on the curb. and then it all goes to hell very, very fast.
Well,
I think that was accurate assessment, yeah.
Well, fair enough. Each to their own. It is a difficult corner as we see Mantas breaking down into there. You really do have to hustle the car around here. It is a place where you can lose a lot of time. Let's switch back to TJ, who is still battling with his teammate, Rick98, and TJ here for Road Appraiser. TJ leading the championship, remember, so he doesn't want to be all the way down in P16. He needs to be thinking about the next race. He wants to finish P15 at the absolute worst here, doesn't he, Zdravko, to get the pole position for race 2?
Yeah, but I think that when some of the people pit that are ahead of them, they will easily jump into top 10.
Yeah, you'd think so.
Yeah, and what I look behind him, I see that Gabber is picking up pace very, very fast. So if they don't stop squabbling, he will join them very soon.
Speaking of squabbling, teammates battling again, 136 miles per hour, and Twincam currently with the fastest lap of the race as it currently stands.
Does he go into pits? Yeah. He decided enough fighting. Okay, so let's see this. Let's see where he comes in relation to Fatal. Oh, Esnelli look at pits just before he goes out of pit. Fatal is trundling down the start-finish straight. Ooh, this will be very close, but I think Twincam is ahead.
Yeah, only just. Yeah. So Twincam made the overcut work and has emerged from the pits ahead of Fatal, who was unhindered, it has to be said. Absolutely unhindered since he first went into the pit lane. But they now have traffic ahead of them. They've got an XFG. Who is that? That XFG is Presley, if I'm not mistaken, and Mizio M. So these guys yet to pit. But yeah, Twincam are net leader at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, Mantis was like 4 seconds ahead of him, so yeah, but the first guy that pitted and he passes Presley.
Ooh, fatal contact with Presley there.
Yeah, Ferro has to be careful because TJ is right on his rear already.
Absolutely he is, and he's going to be pulling him along all the way down the home straight now. TJ pulls into the slipstream of Presley, that boxy XFG acting as a hole punch through the air, and TJ's not managed to make too much of that. Fatal will breathe a sigh of relief there, I'm sure. I think I'm trying to get through some traffic here. Still trying to get through Mizio M here. Mizio M is perfectly entitled to fight with Twincam, but probably doesn't need to. He needs to realise that this is a fight he doesn't need to dirty his hands with, because he's on a different strategy currently, but still on the inside. This is going to help Fatal here.
Well, Twincam went wide, so he kind of brought this on himself. Mizio has all the right to just drive as fast as he can, and it's not his fault if somebody makes a mistake and loses time. Twincam does go ahead. Fatal is very close now, but he will lose time behind Mizio too. And TJ will watch this very interestingly. Fatal again has to take the outside line.
Yeah, forced to the outside. That's very unusual. TJ's going to stick his nose in the inside in the yellow car there. And not going to have the overspeed, but now we'll have a slipstream with Fatal and Mizio. And actually, Twincam might not be entirely safe. This is a very, very, very long straight. So let's see what plays out here.
Oh yeah, Fatal played good with the cards he was dealt. So he had a outside. He went very wide on the entry just to get the slingshot out of the turn. And he just dropped TJ.
Yeah, absolutely. Great work in the end from Fatal, and closes right up to the back of Twincam again. Back at this battle with Gabor and Magic. Gabor on the inside of Magic making that move. So Gabor was making good pace, and you can still see that battle up front just about with Fatal Twin Cam and TJ.
He's only 3 seconds behind.
Yeah, 3 seconds might not seem much, but you know, when there are moving chicanes in the way, it can take a little bit longer to get through, especially as we're running out of
That's a nasty
laps.
name for XFG.
It might be a bit cruel, but
look how fast it is in the turn, even on the grass. Yeah, I think Gabber has to take the inside here. Yeah, and that's job done.
Magic also trying, but Presley shuts the door.
I mean, these turns with XRG have to be so satisfying when you get a car rotation right. The car just slots into the turn and you can just press the loud pedal and off you go.
The XRG is a very satisfying car to drive. Both of them are, but the XRG more so. It's very elegant.
Yeah, I mean, the XRG is just screaming little man. It's always in the high res and it has that higher sound. But I kind of grown to love it.
Yeah, they're both good in their own right. You can prefer what you prefer, but on a track like this, you have to say that the XRG is just a superior car in terms of its straight line speed. There aren't too many corners to level it with the XFG, as we see TJ going very, very aggressively through the final chicane here, closing up to Fatal a lot on these three right together now, because Fatal also closed up on Twin Cam. So good stuff at the front, but we have a 1.1 second gap as we head on to lap 12 with Mantas, Iron Donny in P2 currently. Then it's Loco and 136 miles per hour who round out the top four, just crossing the line.
I was just watching Fero. I think he might have draft on this straight. So let's see how it goes in turn 1. He's definitely gaining. Yeah, so he will take the outside for turn 1. Over the curve, a bit of grass.
That's a good move.
He goes a bit wide. Let's see on the exit.
Oh, just about.
He manages to hold the car. And I think that's it.
Yeah, he went very wide there. That was impressive to be able to keep that. But I guess he used all the tracks.
As long as you don't spin the rear tires,
yeah,
you're kinda okay, and it's helpful that these cars aren't that strong. In XRT, that would be death.
Absolutely. Fatal forced off of his line slightly by Twin Cam. TJ has unsettled himself here as Twin Cam's going to run on the grass. That's going to hurt him as he breaks down into the final corner. TJ might fancy a sniff of something here. Just needs to focus on his exit. Yeah, there we go. TJ slightly wide. Twin Cam slightly wide. TJ able to spot his exit better than Twin Cam. Twin Cam confusing me there because of his number plate actually.
Yeah, I think that TJ might get draft now from Twin Cam because Twin Cam dropped a bit of time behind Fero.
Yeah, here we go. He's going to the outside, so the same place that Fatal put his car on the last lap. Twin Cam has a good position still though. Tiny slipstream from Fatal, but not enough. TJ should have it. Yeah. Oh, it's going to be close.
TJ is so late on brakes. He doesn't go as wide.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, he's so strong on the brakes. I think he's driving with G29 now. But not sure if he's using the brakes from the G29. For anyone wondering if they should buy G29 pedals, don't. That's my advice.
Yeah, glowing recommendation from the sim broadcast commentators for Logitech hardware there.
G27, G25, okay, just don't get the G29. It's not improved as they say in commercials. It's not. I have very bad feelings about G29 pedals if it wasn't obvious until now.
Almost the same opinion that you have of BMWs.
Yeah. It has gone worse, I think. Even worse. With the new M2. I don't know if you saw it.
I'm not gonna. I shouldn't have opened the can of BMW worms, but to be impartial, Logitech have just announced new direct drive wheels, so go and have a look at that. Anyway, back to Fatal. Fatal currently leading the way in this little
As
pack
Rocket goes wide
Rocket
ahead
falls
of
off the
them.
track ahead of them. Yeah.
Maybe G29 brakes, not sure. It
Oh,
looks
God.
like that. I used to brake like that when I drove with G29 brakes. Why would you go off topic with Logitech direct drive wheel? It looks good until you see the pricing. Did you see the pricing of it?
I did.
Yeah. I'm not sure it's worth double the money of Fanatec
Oh no,
direct
I mean,
drive.
yeah. Anyway, we
Yeah.
could talk about that all night. Fatal goes off the track.
Let's just say you won't be getting sponsorship from Logitech anytime soon.
No thanks to you anyway. Here we go. Up the
Oh,
inside,
TJ
TJ.
sends one.
Yeah, this could be close coming into the braking zone. Fatal had a scrappy end to this lap, and
I
it
think
does
TJ
not
will
help.
have draft.
Yeah.
TJ will have draft.
TJ will. So will Fatal slightly on the back of Janon, but not enough to hold off TJ. Certainly not because Janon's gone in the pit
Yeah.
lane.
John saw that in mirrors and just
Yeah,
said
didn't want to get
no.
involved at all. Bail, get out of the way.
So Fatal gives insight to TJ. That's a curious decision.
Oh, goodness me. Out of shape on the brakes.
I mean, TJ was far enough ahead so he could went for the apex. So Fatal will have draft now, but it will be tricky to pass before the chicane.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world. This is a mini oval. You just have to make sure you don't lose sight of the car through the chicanes. You can swap positions back and forwards. TJ there, statement of intent. You're not coming through on the inside here, mate. You'll have to wait until the final corner. Fatal's very, very strong at this chicane.
Oh my god. That TJ's pass through the millimeters from tires and he goes on the grass. Well, just say his first apex was much better than the second. And Twinkum is still close. So
yeah,
Fatal should have some kind of draft here, I think. TJ is already trying to break it. He goes right to the edge of the track.
Well, he's actually doing quite a good job. Fatal might be stuck here. I don't know if he's going to have the overspeed by the final corner. Will he?
So,
maybe.
He has. He
does.
Because TJ lost speed going left, right. And he went on the grass a bit. This will hurt him in the braking. He locks up. He will go wide. Yeah. Twinkle will just say, hello, I'm here also. Yeah.
Yeah, he has a nose in there. It's not going to be enough.
Yeah,
TJ...
it's enough for TJ not to be able to turn in completely. Oh, this is turning to be a tasty battle.
Well, this is going to hurt them though when Mantas and the like pit, because they're just slowing each other down now. So I doubt this is going to be the battle for the lead, put it that way. But it's still very entertaining as Fatal has a dodgy line, TJ has a dodgy line, and Twinkum is just playing around at the back.
Fatal did interesting run here. So he went tight on the entry, and that's obviously not ideal. But then he just stopped on the apex. So he just stopped on the apex and not enabling TJ to accelerate.
Twinkum has hurt himself there. Got out of shape exiting the final corner.
Yeah, but
and
TJ has the draft again. Let's see, he will go for the assault. First time Fatal picks the inside.
Yeah, this will be the final lap, so everybody else will be pitting now. Across the line, side by side, that's as close as it can be. If they're side by side next time, it will be a tie almost. But it is advantage TJ. He has
and they
the
overtake Koivunen, who goes for out of pits. Ooh, it's very close with Twinkum. Twinkum does take the place, I think.
No.
TJ took Fatal.
Yeah, Koivunen ahead. Because, yeah, that was just too much bodily contact there between those two. And only a few corners to go. Mantas needs to come in the pits now. So does Donny, so does Loco, and so too does 136 miles per hour. And then we will find out where they come out in relation to TJ. I think it's going to be ahead because well, these guys have been battling too hard.
I think TJ and Fatal will be close to 136 mph. So it's fourth place up for grabs here.
Well, we are on the final lap, and Mantas is in the pit lane. Donny's in the pit lane. Loco and also 136 are in the pit lane, and TJ is barely coming under the second bridge. And well, Mantas is already on his way. He's almost at pit exit. So too is Donny. This is where the action is going to be.
Well, Loco is very close to Donny actually.
Yeah, he is indeed. We've got a few other cars streaming past start finish side by side. We've got who is that? That is Rayman side by side with Magic, and TJ rejoins behind 136. So yeah. Oh goodness me!
Oof. So Rick takes 3 cars in one turn. Will he be ahead of Magic?
Well, if he is, that's not quite. Well, Mantas is entering the final chicane. We should probably give him some attention since he's been leading from the get-go. Donny has managed to hold on very, very well here, but not enough. 1.8 second deficit to Donny. But it does look like Mantas is going to take this one very easily. Race 1 will go to him. A bit of a flourish out of the final corner. This will demote him, of course, to P15 for the start of race 2, but he will not care because that was a very, very dominant performance as he starts to flash the lights on his way up to start-finish to take victory in race 1 of round 41 of the 2022 season of Fragmaster's G5 Thursday. Great race from him. And across the line in second, it's Donny.
Yeah, so we got cars going side by side at the end of race. It's Rayman, Rick 98, Magic.
Magic won there by 200ths of a second, 21.97 to 21.99. Oh no, 15.51 to 15.53, very, very close. So the final few cars coming across the start finish. Remember, look at that list. The top 15 will be reversed. So it looks like, by my calculations, McElroy will start on a surprise pole position.
Yep, with Michael second and Raymond third.
Absolutely. Well, once we have all of our finishers, we'll get the full rundown of the order and set up for the second race. We're expecting a couple of cars coming across the line, especially a few more XFGs because we had more than that start the race. EA Presley has finished, and here we go. There's another one. There's Valentino A Plus finishing 23rd. Ortiz 24th, and Hermani registered there in 25th. 1 lap down. That is everybody. So let's run down the full order for the race results. Here we go then. So in first place, in a time of 25 minutes and 1 second, it was Born to Race Mantas, who also clocked the fastest lap, a 1:21.69, ahead of Iron Donny, 1.45 seconds back in the end. So a strong final lap from him. Loco and B2R 136 miles per hour finished 3rd and 4th. Then it's TJ, Fatal, Pekka Koivunen, Twincam Gabor, and Magic, your top 10. Rick 98 finishes in P11. Then it's Nana Luca, Rayman, Michael, McElroy, who will start pole position for race 2. MRC Kig, World Class Lines, Yari Katilla, Friends United Rocket, Mizio M, JTM Janon, your top 20. And then on the second page of results, the final finishers of this race were Nahwed, EA Presley, Valentino A+, Ortiz, and Hermani, and then DNF for Cabazon P26. At this stage of the evening, Zdravko and I like to place bets on who's going to win race 2. And I'm going to be generous tonight. Zdravko, since you've been on a pretty good winning streak recently, except for last time, I might add, who do you think is going to win race 2?
We shouldn't count last time because my pick was ahead of yours anyway.
Who crossed the line first, though?
Was it Mendes?
I don't know. It's whoever I picked.
So, you picked Yoni, didn't you?
I think Yoni. I can't remember that far back. It was a while ago. Move on. Who are you going to pick for this time?
Let's say Gabor.
Gabor, interesting. Well, where did he
Yeah.
finish? Looking on our
Finished
results,
ninth.
9th place. So he'll start 6th, thereabouts.
Yeah, I'm not taking the easiest route here. I'm just
I wouldn't
going.
expect you to.
I'm just betting that he learned how to drive in race 1, and now he just go flat out.
He'll start P7. So, you sure you want to? Well, I've got to have a think. I've got to have a think about who I'm going to go for. Rick 98. He's there in P11. He didn't quite have the pace to keep up with TJ, but that was partially to do with his luck through the traffic. You've picked Gabor in P7. I reckon Twin Cam was pretty racy in that race. I'm not gonna lie. He was making some great moves, and I don't know. I consider Twin Cam to be a bit of an outside bet. Currently starting behind Gabor, so a bit of a risk. Oh, it's a tricky decision. Well, how long have I got to make my call? I've got about 2 minutes left.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
All right, I'll have a think about it.
Think about it, yeah. So, for everyone watching, if you're wondering why it's hard to pick from P2 to P11, the 10 cars had their fastest lap in a range of under 200ths of a second. 2/10ths of a second, sorry. So there's basically nothing separating the speed of the cars.
Yeah, that is nothing. Put your predictions in the chat, of course, for who you think is going to win
Let's see,
second race.
Ronnie says Magic.
Magic would be a good bet. We'll be starting in P6, and I've only got a few minutes left. A minute left to decide who I think is going to win, which is it's more of a tricky decision than it normally is. Normally, I just pick someone, but it feels like it means something at this stage because I don't have a great record.
I mean, if I look at the grid, I don't want to insult anyone, but maybe first 2 positions on the grid aren't on the pace. But then
Zdravko is looking at you, McGregor and Michael Malik.
But then after that, like everyone seems to have the pace that if if everything slots in the right way, they can win.
Well, I don't normally want to bet against TJ because TJ can turn a result, but he is going to be starting quite a few places behind Gabor. I'm going to carry on the trend. I'm going to go for someone who's a little bit of an outsider, maybe. But I'm going to back Team Road Appraiser. I'm going to go for Rick 98 for the win in race 2. Why not? Come on.
Interesting choice. Yeah, let's see.
This is what's happened here is Zdravko is under contract for the 6 hours of Aston in a few weeks' time, and he has to back his teammate Gabor.
Yeah, I mean,
that.
He's my teammate because he's the best.
We're supposed to be unbiased, but oh well. I've added a little bit of unbiased input into this bet.
Yeah, let's see.
Let's see, because the grid is set and we are going racing once again at Aston Club Reversed with the GTIs. And look at that grid. What a fantastic looking grid. Michael Malik on the front row alongside McGregor, who has the pole position for the second race. Zdravko, take it away for the start.
I wonder who to watch. Let's start from P4. Let's see. I think Michael will send one on the turn 1. McGregor doesn't look to have an awesome start.
Well, we can have a look at Michael Malik for the start. We'll see if your prediction
P1 and P2 got a good getaway.
Yeah, it was a good getaway, actually.
Let's see what Michael does. They break. Michael goes. Oh, wow.
Oh, big send.
Yeah. So my prediction was right. He did send it on the inside, and I think he will take the place. There's that chicane for them.
Yeah, side by side as they go through the first chicane.
Yeah, but he will have the inside for that fast chicane, and Raymond is already on there. Will he make it 3 wide? We will be in the worst case there on the outside. Everybody breaks. Gabor goes very wide.
Oh no! Some cars on the grass there. That was who was that? Nana Luca going on the grass. But look at this. Big squabble. We've got Magic going up the inside. Magic is going to be on the
So
rear quarter panel of
Rick is
Gabor.
on
Has
the
to back out of it.
outside there.
Oh, Rick's on
That's
the
a bad
outside.
place.
No, Gabor's going to get him.
Yeah.
As we head down the home straight, he's trapped in there behind Rayman. Is it? Yes, it's Rayman. So
I think
Gabor and
what's
Rick.
most amazing is that Michael and McGrew are still P1 and P2.
Yeah.
As
After a whole
McGrew
lap.
goes into pits, and that will put.
Oh, what are you doing, man?
Gabor P2. Yeah.
What are you
Rick
doing?
also pitted.
Yep, Rick went in as
Yeah.
well. Rick didn't have much choice. He was sort of bundled into the pit lane. Magic is having a go at Twin Cam in the background, or in fact, is that Twin Cam on Magic? Not quite sure, but Twin Cam has the advantage as they exit the first corner, but it is still Michael Malik holding on from Gabor, only just.
Yeah,
with
Gabor
Rick 98 in the pits.
had the big wheel spin, and now Luca is right on his tail now. Yeah, Gabor kinda had opportunity to have a run on Michael, but lost it. Let's see what happens in chicane. I think that Michael will be a bit slower than Gabor. Very easy to get surprised by that. But Gabor takes it nicely. Michael touches a bit of grass. This will hurt on the braking. As Gabor sets up for the wide entry and good exit. Michael can't go wide, so this will help Gabor with exit speed.
Yeah, he's done it. He's got it, and that will be an
Yeah,
easy
but Michael
lead.
will have draft, so
Yeah.
it's not over yet. But Gabor does have overspeed and immediately goes to break the draft. Some good thinking.
Donny goes into the pit lane, so we'll have to see what happens with him later on. Where does he come out in relation to the group that pitted on lap 1? We'll find out, as Michael Malik has his pretty much his final opportunity to shake this race up. Can he get past, or can he unsettle Gabor? Gabor has a very tight line. There's contact. Twin Cam has absolutely bamboozled Michael there. Goes into the back of him, forces Michael down to P4, and there are 2 Born to Race cars now. Twin Cam and Nana Luca, who get promoted onto P2 and 3 on the podium. But Michael absolutely mugged there by the Born to Race guys.
Yeah, he went from attacking P1 to P4. Gabor did a smart job there, I think. He just held the inside and then parked the car on apex, and it didn't matter that Michael has a better line. He just didn't have space to accelerate. And Nela Luca behind Michael did not help.
Well, Gabor has basically been given a free pass now up front. We've got Pekka Koivunen battling with Loco here into the final corner. Michael Malik having a go at Twin Cam.
Yeah, he returned the favor.
Yeah. Bit of red mist, maybe.
So, some good news.
Okay.
Rick 98 posted fastest Sector 1 at the moment. He is in kinda clean air, but he's getting hounded by Fero. So if Fero manages to overtake him, he will have a hard race, as Gabor posts a fastest lap.
Yeah, I'm slightly unhappy that your bet has already taken the lead and has the fastest lap, as we've got further contact at the back between Kig and Jari Katila, I think that was, or was it Pekka Koivunen? Fatal sets the fastest lap from miles down the order. He's chasing Rick 98 for position. We've got some good scrapping going on up and down here. Lots and lots of bodily contact. We like to see that in race 2. Yeah. Obviously, with everyone being jumbled up, it does encourage this behaviour.
Jari Katila tries for an outside passing chicane on King. Does not work. Let's see what happens. Mizio gets interested as Jari goes to the grass. No. The touch. There was a big touch. It was so big that I shouldn't even call it a touch.
It was a crash.
Yeah.
Interestingly, the car who was leading the race at the beginning is also leading everybody who's already pitted. Magrio, someone we completely discounted from our bet, is leading the best of the rest at the moment. So fair play. Coming up on the back of an XFG, bit of traffic, but currently doing a very good job.
As the sea opens ahead of Magrio, he had 2 cars ahead of him in traffic, and they both pit, so he now has 7 seconds of a clear space ahead of next car.
Yeah, an enormous amount of space as TJ and Mantas are side by side across start finish, and they're about to jump on top of Loco, I believe. Not quite going to happen into the first corner, but Rubbing's racing with these guys, so anything's possible.
You know what's interesting to me?
Hmm.
They all pit on first lap or second to avoid traffic, and because everybody pits,
They all
there's
come out of
again
traffic.
in traffic. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you look at the Gabor ahead, he has 2 seconds ahead of everybody else, and he's in clear space and just driving his own race. As
Right, but
Mattis and
in that
TJ
in
touch.
race one, that was the opposite. He pitted really, really early in race one, so he's also guilty of it, but it seems to be paying off.
Yeah, he started last. He started last in race one.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So that's kind of, you're bound to be in traffic if you don't pit.
Well, anyway, here we are, Fatal and Rick 98 with McGreo ahead, still fighting. It can't be good. It can be good if you're a Gabor fan, I suppose.
I mean, this would be awesome for McGrew as Gabor posts 2 consecutive fastest laps in a row. So McGrew actually does not have a bad pace as Fatal goes side by side with Rick 98. For a second I thought that you don't want to show that.
I didn't really, but since you mentioned it.
Yeah, so Fatal and Rick are both faster than McGrew, so sometime during the race they should catch him. He's only like half a second ahead.
Yeah, that's good stuff. That's a good move from Fatal. Important at this stage. He needs to clear Rick and catch up to McGrew, Magic, and Michael side by side into the final corner. Michael on the outside has had a compromised entry. He's also got Kig, his teammate, behind him as well. So I'm comfortable, considering where he started, to be all the way down in P6 and potentially P7 if he can't get a hold of Magic. Where's he going? Is he going to get a slipstream? Yes, he is. There we go.
So I got good news. It looks
Good
like
news.
Rick. It looks like Rick has Fado's draft.
Ah, good stuff. McGrew
So,
still leading
Fado,
these
Fado
guys.
put Rick elects not to take the draft.
Oh dear.
That's,
Confused faces in the commentary booth.
yeah, this curious decision. He's so close. He would have been side by side.
I mean, he could. Oh, as we've got contact in the background. Who was that? TJ and Loco going all across the grass and rejoining very, very slowly. That's going to allow Donny to potentially make a pass. Yeah, in fact, he will very easily around the outside.
You know what's amazing?
What?
Mendes, the previous race leader, is like still P21.
Has pitted though, surely.
Yeah, but like 10 cars ahead of him pitted too, so it's not working out.
Yeah, I mean, are you trying to start a conspiracy theory here? I don't quite understand what you're trying to say there, really. But there we are. Fatal and McGrew. McGrew is well, what a hero. Oh, look at this. He's going back for it. He's going to try and get the place a little bit.
He's gonna get drafted.
Yeah, and so too is Rick 98. Well, at least I hope he is. Well, McGrew is certainly going to get the draft. Whether Rick 98 uses it or not is up to him. He didn't use it on the last lap.
Yeah, Rick could get 2 places. Oh, as McGrew hits Fado. This will actually help Fado.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Rick hasn't been able to get close at all. He's going for the outside. He's going to try and get McGrew at least and stay with Fatal. Oh, easily done, but compromised his line quite a lot there. Goes wide and has lost the draft of Fatal. So that's important for Fatal. He leads those who have pitted. Twincam is fighting with his teammate Nanaluka now. Oh, goodness me. Tandem drifting, contact, Twincam on the grass, and Nanaluka up to P2.
I mean, you can't say GTRs aren't fun.
Oh no, they're definitely fun. They're the best class in the game, pretty much, for wheel-to-wheel racing anyway.
Twincam will, I think he will have draft again. He's close enough.
Oh yeah, he's got draft. I mean, look at the head of the car ahead. Look at that. Absolute panic from Nanaluka now, after shoveling his teammate off into the gravel, or the grass. I think I'm almost certainly going to have another look down into turn 1, as McElroy and Rayman now having a bit of a fight. Oh, Twincam sells the dummy. Spooking Nanaluka, who's going to go so deep, he's going to go out of view. There he goes. And Twincam takes the place. Magic versus Mizio. Mizio gets the place.
As we have a crash in pit lane.
Okay.
Valentino went out of pits as Presley wanted to pit. And they crashed. Presley got spun into the garage.
And now he can't pit again, can he?
Yeah, but I think he...
Oh, I think he's retiring. Yeah, he doesn't want to continue.
I think he got a drive-through penalty when they crashed. No, he didn't. He did a pit stop. Not sure what happened there.
Interesting. Back to our action at the front, and it is Rayman now who is having a look at McElroy. And we've got Iron Donny and TJ also in a battle further down.
I just like to point out.
Goodness me.
You go to P14 and say back to action at front. These guys are backmakers, actually.
Oh!
What is this?
Oh! What happened? Nanaluka did not expect Twincam to slow down that quickly.
How?
And they bundled each other into the pit
lane. Not get a drive-through penalty.
Rick 98 and Fatal side by side. How did this happen? Rick 98 has woken up and has gulped back past. This is great stuff. As we've got 2x2 action further back as well, with cars merging back onto the race. And McElroy, well, he's having more action than he bargained for tonight, having been promoted to pole. And he is in a fight with Nanaluka, TJ, Rayman, and Donny.
Do you wanna hear some good news?
I always want to hear good news from you.
I think that Rick, if he manages to drive okay to the end of race, we actually finish second. That's kind of semi-good news.
It's not good news for me though, is it? It's good news for Rick 98 fans.
I mean,
all around the world.
It still means that it was a good pick.
It was a good pick. I mean, it's a good pick. You picked first. I couldn't pick the same car as TJ is deciding to take out the Born to Race rivals. McElroy gets held up and is probably going to get overtaken by at least Rayman now, as Donny.
Oh my God, it's a slaughter.
It's just unlucky. I mean, TJ was bullying in there.
So there's 2 wide and 3 wide, and Loco just looking at all that. It's a massive draft that
Loco's going to make this 4 wide.
Make it 4 wide,
Yeah, come on. We want to see a 4 wide here. Loco.
There's no space. McElroy.
He's going to make space. He's going to make space. He's going to go to the inside. Why not? Come on. Oh, he braked too early.
No. If everybody else makes a mistake, STJ and Luca ahead of them also go very wide.
Yeah, cracking stuff. Cracking stuff in GTIs as always. This is very, very well. This is not unusual.
I mean, this is like 6 cars in 1 second on the track.
Yep, you love to see it. Donny is not having a good time here, though. He needs to get through this pack if he wants to add to his total in the championship. He needs to get past Loco now and not be caught by Mantas, who's back on the scene. Here he is.
So what I was saying before is that, you know how every time somebody wins in race 1, they get very good position in race 2, and Mantas is still just 17. So that's what I was saying. It's not working out this race. Like, the base is so close from whole field, but it's just not easy to pass.
Yeah, AS2R actually is one of the most difficult tracks to gain time, because there are so few places to lose time. You're on the brakes for, well, not a lot of time. The straights are very, very long. The chicanes are very, very fast. So, you know, it is very difficult to gain time when you lose it.
Mantas just goes on that dirt and that hurts on the exit. I think Donny will get him back. It looks like he will. Ooh. Some rubbing going on.
Great
I
stuff.
mean, where does Donny go now? He
Loco
kinda has to
pushing
be
his
in the
teammate
inside.
there. Oh my goodness me. Donny slots in the middle. Well, that's the best he could have hoped for.
Yeah, I
Could have
mean,
gone a lot worse.
clap for all the drivers involved that nobody spun out.
Oh, wait for it. Loco's going for a dive again. This happened on the previous lap. Forces are 3 wide, and Donny's been spun. Absolutely innocent. Oh, but he rejoins the
my
racing
God.
line into Magic and almost taking out Yari Katilla as well. So Donny there, an innocent party from the Loco dive.
Yeah, that was
Donny had nowhere to go there.
remembering of some other loco there.
Oh yeah, this is reminiscent of a certain other Loco. Yeah.
As Loco has put his sights on Mentes. You could go for it in turn 1.
Oh goodness me, more contact.
As amazingly, Magic posts a fastest lap,
Oh come on,
improving
Magic.
his PB by 2
Absolutely
tenths.
brilliant. 2 tenths. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Good effort there from Magic, who is still fighting with 136 MPH.
I mean,
They head onto the back straight.
McElroy is still ahead of most of B2R racers.
Yeah, we were too quick to dismiss McGrio as a potential candidate. Michael Malik, well, I don't know. You can make of what you want. Michael won't mind us saying that we didn't have him written for the win, but you know he still needs to pit and he's in P4. So let's see what happens to him. But McGrio definitely having a great time out there.
Magic attacking 1 through 6.
Fatal has a sniff here at Rick 98 again, so we'll see if this changes things. Fatal's going to go to the inside for the first part of the chicane, but it's going to be the outside for the hairpin. Alongside. That'll be enough.
That's a huge overspeed. Does he go? He goes a bit wide.
That's a good effort, though.
I mean, it doesn't matter as much if you go wide as long as you can put on the power soon enough.
Magic is going. Well, he's doing everything right here. He's doing everything right to get the fastest lap of the race, but what he's not managing to do is make that first corner stick against 136. 136 got him back before they even headed to the second chicane, and we'll have the inside line for the final chicane. So, yeah, 136 really is holding Magic up here, but Magic needs to get this job done if he wants to register any more fastest laps and make any positions. But anyway, the laps are running out for certain drivers to make their pit stops, including Gabor, Pekka Koivunen, Kig, and Michael Malik, to name but a few, and Mizio as well. And that's everybody. So just these 5, and we'll have to see where they come out in relation to current net leader, Fatal, who is just coming up to start-finish. It's probably unlikely, given the amount he's been battling, that he will have opened up enough of a buffer to get ahead of Gabor. The gap currently 19 seconds, so that is pretty major.
Oh, you just need a missed pit box in pit stop and hell breaks loose.
Yeah, and we've seen that happen many times this year in a multitude of series. And well, let's see. Can Rick 98 shake the tree anymore? He's currently on for a podium. If he can keep this going, where will he be on the podium? Will Fatal take P2? Will
at the
Rick
moment,
take P2?
I think it's looking like P3.
Well, Fatal lost his position earlier in the
Rick
race.
Gets fastest split 1. I mean, he didn't give up. He's still not giving up from getting fatal.
I hope someone told him he's my bet for the win, but I don't count on it necessarily. Here's your bet for the win, who just takes the fastest lap away from Magic and has his sights set on 3 more laps before the checkered flag. No traffic ahead, no worries behind for 10 seconds.
This has to be the loneliest race he ever drove after like lap 2.
But he started race 1 in last, and he's currently leading race 2 quite healthily, as Michael has just been overtaken by Mizio into turn 1, and instead of having a go at overtaking, is just pushing him around the lap. So Michael pushing his competitors around rather than trying to get past at this stage, although that looked like a sniff of an overtake attempt. Not into the chicane, Michael. Maybe try the final corner, or T1 again.
He goes a bit wide, I think, yeah. On the second apex, takes the grass.
Needs to focus on his exit. Gets the car down to the apex a little bit too much. The rear goes out, and Mizio just has a better line there, so that should be that. Yes, I think Mizio has enough overspeed to make that job done. So P4 for him, quite comfortably.
Meanwhile, 5 cars from P10 to P14 are still having a blast. It's Mugrio and B2R gang. Mantis is trying to overtake Rayman at the moment.
Yeah, Mantas with no flag on his roof, and Rayman with the Spanish flag on his roof. And Mantas gets the move as we see Kig rejoining the race after his pit stop from the pit lane. And that's a good move. Mantas up to P11.
Yeah, so next stop is Mugrio. He started to climb from like lap 10 up, but at the start he was just going nowhere for Mantis.
Yeah, it took him too long to get into this race, really, and it might be a top 10. Depends where Michael Malik and Mizio come out, but it probably will be a top 10 for those guys. Here's Magrio, still fighting with Nanaluka.
He's not losing the positions there, so Mugrio is still just 3 seconds behind TJ. It's an awesome effort as Gabor pits.
So he's come in on the final opportunity for him to come in, and he sticks the pits.
So Mizio pits.
He's going to come out so far ahead of Fatal. You can barely even see him, actually. So in the end, it was quite trivial. Pekka Koivunen has had a very nice run this race. He's going to come out just around TJ, is he?
I think
yes, he
behind.
Is. Oh, it's going to be close. TJ has to take avoiding action,
ahead.
and he gets TJ. Good effort. Can he keep it for the remainder of the lap? We'll have to wait and see. We've got more cars coming together behind Magrio and Mantas side by side. Magrio forcing Mantas wide. Mantas collecting all of the polystyrene banners. Magrio, hats off.
So Mugrio is just posting his dominance over B2R team this race.
Yeah,
ahead of 4 guys, and he has been fighting with him for a whole race.
Mantas, for all that happened to him just then, did post the fastest lap, so he's got the purple number. Gabor at the final corner, but we're going to have a look at TJ and Pekka, because Pekka is putting on a defense here. Yeah.
That was so nicely placed from Pekka, because TJ was ready to turn in and accelerate, and Pekka's car was there. There was nowhere to go.
Gabor crosses the line to win race 2 comfortably, then ahead of Fatal, and then it will be Rick98 coming across the line in P3. Then we've got Twin Cam in P4. Very, very close finish behind between Pekka Koivunen and TJ. Pekka taking P5 there ahead of Road Appraiser's TJ. Magrio, who started on pole, finishes in P7 after a pretty brutal race. Some drama across the line there, but we'll carry on the rundown. Nanaluka P8, Loco P9, Rayman P10, Mantas finishing in P11 after falling off the road at turn 1 on the previous lap. Does take the fastest lap for a consolation prize. Then it's Kig, and then we have 136 miles per hour, Donny and Michael Malik, your top 15. And I believe we're just waiting for a couple of cars before we do the full rundown. So Zdravko, race 2 never disappoints. We always get a lot of crazy action, but no, not normally as crazy as that.
Well, it was crazy enough, I think. Especially the midfield with McElroy and Bitoirs. Yeah. Even Koivunen and TJ were very close at the end, and Twinken was already on the tail of Rick, while Rick and Fader were having fight whole race. So yeah, only guy having kind of boring race, I think, was Gabber.
Yeah, I mean, he had his fun in race 1. Then Rick 98 doing another lap for good measure. But in 25 minutes and 3 seconds, Sidus Gabor takes the gold medal and the top step of the podium ahead of Fatal and Rick 98. Twin Cam in P4, Pekka Koivunen of World Class Lines in P5, TJ Ferroda Praiser P6. He will extend his championship lead ahead of Donny this evening. Then we have McGrio, Nanaluka, Born to Race Loco, and B2R Rayman rounding out the top 10. On the second column, we've got Mantas, who took the fastest lap, a 121.67 in P11. Pig, 136 miles per hour. Donny, Michael, Magic, Mizio M, Yari Katilla, Friends United Rocket, and Janon, your top 20. The second screen, we have 5 drivers, and at the top of the sheet, it is Valentino A+ in P21, Johnny SVK backwards in 22, Nahwed in P23, Ortiz, Hermani, and EA Presley, your final finishers. EA Presley didn't actually finish, registered 10 laps down there. And that brings to a close another brilliant round of Fragmaster's GTI Thursday. Round 41 is in the books.
Yeah, that one was amazing one, I think. I mean, we have plenty of amazing races. I'm not sure if this one is the best we had, but it's quite up there, I think. Especially the second one.
We get so many good races, and when you can enjoy the racing for an hour on a Thursday afternoon, we're just watching and commentating for our own amusement and for yours. But imagine how much fun some of the drivers are having. It is a serious blast, this series. So if you do fancy getting in and boosting the grid sizes in the GTI Thursday series, then please do. The GTIs are pretty easy to drive. There's going to be someone around your skill level, and it is guaranteed laughter, this series, pretty much, for us and for all the drivers. And hopefully for you. If you enjoyed this coverage, then please follow our channel, subscribe if you like, and get all of the notifications when we go live. Check out our calendar on our website at simbroadcasts.tv, especially over the next few days, because we are going to be announcing a few things on the channel. The upcoming coverage for autumn. We've had a bit of a quiet summer here, and things are about to change. Things are about to get a little bit busy, so a little bit of a spoiler there, but hopefully some interesting coverage from Live for Speed and iRacing coming your way in the coming months. Zdravko, this was great. I really do enjoy covering the GTI Thursday series. We're now in October, so we only have a couple of rounds left that we're going to be covering this season, but it's been a blast, and I do hope we can continue this partnership into the future, because GTI Thursday, it just keeps on giving.
Yeah, it really does. It's an awesome way to spend Thursday night.
Indeed. Yes, if you do fancy spending your Thursday night with us, then we appreciate it. And it doesn't matter if you're watching this on demand later on, or driving in one of our championships that we cover. We appreciate you. So thank you very much. Thanks everyone in the Sim Broadcast team, of course, for putting on this show. Chris McElroy in the background, always giving us the shots. And to you, Zdravko, for joining me in the commentary box. I know you've had a rush day, so thank you for getting back in time to join me in the commentary box. Thanks to all the drivers for putting on a great show, and to all of you viewers for sticking around with us. We do appreciate it. We hope you have a good night, and we'll see you at the next one. Good night.